R&B, a warrior from the east. Oh! Ah, ah, ah. Possibility, opportunity, what you want to see. Oh!
The whole world is at war. We're not just looking at the pandemic or shady capitalists or bullying presidents or vaccinations. These are all pillars of that war. These are all points of that war. We're looking at these points of that war. The issue is where are you situated in relation to such? Have you thought about how much of an impact this will make on your life? Like nobody thought about how much an impact it would make on our children's lives as it related to them, having to stay home from school. We never thought about having to homeschool our own children and having to go to work or stay home for work, or trying to navigate work and them getting their work done. We never thought about that. But now we're wedged in this position as the spoils of war, as the prisoners now, in between a war that we had no idea was when it was going to start, how it was going to manifest, and how it was going to play out on us. It's very important that you all be very clear on where you're positioning yourself. Take a look at where you live. Take a look at, can you get on and off the express? You have to get on and off the expressway to get out of this city that you live in. Do you have access to water? Have you stocked up on water? How about food? How about seeds? How about weather? Think about all of these things and how it plays in part in your life and how this war is impacting it. How this war is impacting your access to it. Especially as we take a look back, because see, the previous corona pandemic outbreak should give us a whole lot of, because it did well having it given to America, because I'm not in America, so giving it to America during the springtime. Since it did it during the springtime, okay, cool. Because then once we hit cold weather and everything, once we hit hotter weather, everything, we can navigate that. The issue is, how do we navigate it when you hit the cold weather? How do you navigate being quarantined in your home when you have to wear your face mask covering, when you have to deal with people whom are sick, snotty, or unhealthy, coming to work, coming to the grocery store, coming to your place of employment, and how do you deal with that? You have to come to that when people have not taken great care to build their immune systems. It's really important that you discern these things as you move in, and you got half the job already done if you think about having lived through corona already. You've already dealt with corona. You've already dealt with the the limiting situation in which they've limited the amount of people that could go into a store, or which they've limited the amount of items for which you could purchase, or which they've limited the amount of time that you can be out in the day or night. So what I want you to do is, since you have that knowledge, be ready and prepared. Be ready and prepared, because this,
somebody's at the gate.
I don't. This election will This election will be very interesting. We already have had a sneak peek at what this election is going to be like. We've already had a sneak peek at what uh, of the ideas that people have, the imperialists, the supremacists, and the conceptual, the rich and elite. We have an idea of what these people think. So now what? Now what? You know? Now, so therefore, you're a step up. They've given you a peek at what they think. So now, put life into perspective. Since you've had a peek at what they think, you've had an idea of how they move and maneuver, you've had an idea of what they could do to limit your ability. Now, what are you going to do? You need to have that in mind. You need to look at your money. How much money do you have saved? How much loyalty or agreeability do you have in your home camp? Are you all able to communicate well? Do you all agree on these topics? And your home camp do not have to be your blood family. It could be people who you do understand and agree with, but you also have tried and tested over a span of time. Don't just pick people who you have met off the internet. If you have not met them, melanin to melanin, baby, they do not count. You need to make sure that you have looked into their eyes, that you have felt their energy framework, that you know them when they angry, you know when they tripping, you know when they lying. You done already been around them for all that. Them people tried and tested, and them people, y'all all have the same ideology about what's going down. Those are the people who you are going to look to for that forward movement and support. Those are the people who you will trust. It's almost like we've lost the ability to trust in a time in which we are told how to think, what to crave, what to buy, what color to like, all of this. So now we don't really know how to navigate. But you're going to have to dig into your common sense. They say common sense ain't common. Well, you're going to have to become common so that you can make some sense of life. You're going to have to use critical thinking skills. You're going to have to use a discernment that you thought was a conspiracy theory, but now you see conspiracies then come to light and then put their finger in your face and mugged you in the head and said, stand back. Stand back. Stand back and stand back. Be ready. So they done mugged us in the face like, and what you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? So with that being the case, know what you're going to do. Know what you're going to do. Now, nobody can tell you what to do because your environment is different than other people's. Because what's going on around you is different. Your team is different. Who you are with is different. Your money is different. How you navigate your children is different. But it's time to tighten up everything. Where your mama used to yell at you about keeping your room clean and then you not really getting on your children about that, well, it's time to tighten up everything because you need to understand. You need for the playing field, at least inside your home, to be clear so that you can comprehend what you're feeling and how you're feeling about things and how you can navigate. Also, what can your people handle? Can they handle being out in the sun? Can they handle eating the same food every day? Can they handle not going to the mall or not being able to go where they want to go? Can they handle not having no Wi-Fi? We have to be clear. We have to be clear because they're betting on and counting on us still being and operating like sheep. Step one. I'll be back with more information.